When it comes to having the right attorney in your corner, you want to have a proven winner on your side, and Russell Dutch Boyd of VegasCounsel.com knows how to win in Las Vegas. Boyd graduated at 18 years old from law school and is also a 3-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. And no matter what legal challenges you're facing, Boyd will help you through it all. As a litigation attorney, he covers multiple areas of law, including personal injury, business law and startup, cyber law, and crypto clients, and whatever else you might need to navigate the legal waters of Las Vegas and beyond. Just visit VegasCounsel.com to set up your free initial consultation today. That's VegasCounsel.com and let Dutch Boyd help you win today. Once again, that's Russell Boyd at VegasCounsel.com.
.1015 FM, KDWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Filled with wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's bring on the tag team of Andrew Fish Fain, Joe DeFalco, and your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, and we are back. Hour number 2, because one's just not good enough.
Vandergriff.
Okay, I'm going to get you out of work tonight. Folks, do me a favor. We actually have a Patreon or patron thing on the website now. If you go on our, I think I have it up on Facebook, send us $100 so Fish can get out of work tonight.
I need more than 100. It's got to be closer to 2.
Okay, 2. So I can take him down to FSW tonight and get him clobbered.
If they send you that kind of money, I will go down to FSW. I will call out and go down to FSW tonight.
All right. So go on our Facebook page. Check it out. Fish money for death. I think that's pretty cool. It's a good idea.
For a championship.
Yeah. I'm Mark Hoke, Andrew Fish Fain.
The Fish Hook, I'm telling you, I'm ready.
Joe DeFalco is unavailable, so we'll get by without Joe today.
And I don't even wear a singlet.
Whatever. Can you let me talk? You keep jumping in on me today. You're hyper. What are you drinking over there?
Orange Crush.
Orange Crush. Don't ever do it again. No. I'm sure you had some coffee, too.
It won't be a singlet, though.
Yeah, okay.
I want to wear jorts like John Cena.
We're getting sound effects. This is exciting.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go. I have to get my boss up every morning on Sundays. He's shaking his head. Not a good idea. No,
he's shaking his head.
I get it. By the way, I have to give it to Mark Mania, my new supervisor here at Odyssey, who has been. We did the switch here, and he has been killing himself this week. Plus, dealing with me.
Well, that's enough. If that's his hazard pay.
Yeah, so I want to give him some props. It's been a
that's why I think I can beat Vandergriff
transition.
if I can work with you for over 2 years and survive.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. But thank you. By the way, speaking of killing yourself, Fish, you of course are a horrible sports bettor, and I do have to remind everybody that if you go to markhokeshow.com
you really
right
didn't
now,
have to say that part.
Right now, you can head on over
I'm
BetOnline.
a jinxed sports bettor.
You click on our banners for betonline.ag, where you can actually bet on professional wrestling. That's right. If you want to make money off your knowledge and our knowledge generally of professional wrestling, we did get the Jarrett match wrong. We got to admit that. But you can go there and, of course, bet on all the NFL games, baseball, basketball, pool,
snooker,
cricket, bowling, politics, entertainment, snooker. They have snooker on betonline.ag.
Not Jimmy Fly, Superfly snooker.
No, not that. So you are a read ruiner. But seriously, go on over to our website, markhokeshow.com. Click on that big banner. You'll see Drew McIntyre and Sasha Banks, Orange Cassidy, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, is there on that banner.
Can we still have Sasha Banks on that banner?
Well, they put her on there. I didn't.
Okay.
So it says bet on the WWE. You get, and whatever you deposit, you get 50% on top of that, up to $1,000. So if you deposit $1,000, you get 500 more to bet and listen to Fish Fain on SportsX Radio on Monday night with us and lose it all.
No, you can win it all if you just bet opposite me, apparently, if I'm so bad.
Well, that's usually how it goes. So there's a bonus code of BOL1000, but you got to go to markhokeshow.com first and then take it over to betonline.ag.
Do it now.
Yeah, so do it.
And then bet on me to beat Vandergriff.
They've actually got
rich.
They have odds up right now for the IWGP card coming up at Wrestle Kingdom. So
that's very cool.
Yeah, so you can bet on wrestling. It's great. All right, let's put a little bow on the early present that was under the tree. That was AEW Full Gear.
What tree? You got it in November.
Well, some people have their stuff up.
No, you don't put it up until after Thanksgiving.
Well, I personally agree with that. You should not put Christmas decorations up until after Thanksgiving's over, but apparently the retail world completely disagrees.
Yes, they do.
But two things. First, just Fish, your overall impressions of Full Gear, because I think AEW managed to get past the fiasco that happened at All Out, and we're moving forward.
And this is from a guy who is not an AEW fan, if you haven't listened to this show before and didn't realize that. I was very impressed with this one. This was one of their better pay-per-views overall.
Yeah, and all of the matches generally were pretty good. Nothing on there that you would say, "Oh, that was terrible."
No, I mean but there was nothing that was a standout necessarily either. There were very good matches, even great, but nothing that was like, "Oh my God, I got to see that again."
I don't know. I enjoyed the main event.
Yeah, but there was no Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon ladder match in there.
No, wouldn't say that, but I think the interesting part that you're going to see coming out of this is we had a lot of the younger talent in AEW is now on top. Now, Wardlow took a hit, but he's not going anywhere. I mean, he's going to be wrestling Samoa Joe. Hopefully, Powerhouse Hobbs is going to stay in that mix, too. Because I'd hate to see them waste him. I mean, that would be horrendous because that dude is going to be a world champion someday. But it's the quandary I think that they have is
quandary.
That's
weird.
The people that you're supposed to hate are getting cheered like crazy, and Jamie Hayter was getting cheered everywhere. MJF getting cheered. He's not. I mean, it's weird because some of the nastiest boos I've ever heard in wrestling were formerly directed at Mr. Friedman. Not anymore. And what's gonna make this tough is you're gonna put a baby face out there that everybody's supposed to be cheering, and everybody's gonna be like, "Go away, we want you to lose."
Yeah,
and that's tough.
MJF's quitting was the most brilliant move he could have made.
Yeah, it's turned out to be okay.
Like I said, it's not a problem that hasn't happened before. It's exactly what happened with Stone Cold. Stone Cold remember, he was hated at first.
Right.
And all of a sudden he became the anti-hero, and he's probably the most popular wrestler in history.
And MJF to me is truly the face of AEW. But I just wonder in terms of how AEW books going forward, because AEW fans aren't just locked into that this is the good guy, this is the bad guy. They are locked into, I like this person and I'm going to cheer for them. I don't care what they do. I mean, if you think back, if that match with Moxley and MJF happens, say 25, 30 years ago, there's riots up there. People are would be going crazy.
If Cena wins, we riot. Yeah.
I mean, this would have been, oh my God, MJF used brass knucks and Steven Regal's an evil SOB. They're like, William Regal. Great. This is fantastic. Thank you. This is what we wanted. Same thing with Jamie Hayter winning. I mean, this is a weird time in wrestling, and the dynamic with AEW's fans is somewhat difficult to deal with as you built these superstars up that even though they're heels, everybody loves them.
This lays it right in the lap of Tony Khan and the rest of the booking team. They have to book it correctly now. They have
But how?
They have the opportunity because now you book MJF as the anti-hero, so you don't put him up against somebody who's your top face. You have to put him up against, you can put him up against your top heel. There's no reason you can't do that.
See, this is going to be a very interesting championship reign for
I mean,
MJF.
but during the build-up to this match, he turned on Stokely Hathaway and those guys.
Right.
So that almost made him a face anyway.
But he was putting down Regal. He was putting down Mox. He's in a tough spot. And
Tony Khan would be an idiot if he starts booking him against faces. He cannot do that.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I know Brian Alvarez, I was just listening to him on Wrestling Observer Radio, and was just saying that MJF should just go full babyface. You can always change it, but
he can't.
But that's not his character.
No, but if he turns babyface, it'll ruin it.
Right.
He's got to stay. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but he's got to stay like Stone Cold, and he's got to stay in that anti-hero area. If he stays in that path as being exactly who he is, he will remain as popular as ever.
Yeah, and Jamie Hayter's on the way too, and
they have to be booked correctly.
I'll tell you who I can't wait to get back. I can't wait till Chris Statlander gets back, and we get to see two very powerful, athletic women just tearing each other apart.
And what about
that's going to be fun?
Couldn't you have MJF versus Kenny Omega?
You could. There's a lot of interesting possibilities. I mean, Kenny Omega's kind of in that middle ground too. But I don't know if Kenny's nowhere near as over.
But you can't book MJF against Hangman Adam Page.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. Page is going to get booed out of the building, even though he's
that's what I'm saying. You can't do that to Adam Page. Moxley can handle it. I don't know if Page could.
Yeah, I mean Mox played it perfectly last night. He really did.
Because Mox has no problem being the hero or the heel.
Right. That's why he's one of the best in the world.
Absolutely. And that's why I thought that WWE was so wrong not to do everything they could to re-sign Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, this is going to be a great time coming up. And they did the same thing with the trios, by the way.
Yeah.
Now Death Triangle is kind of in the middle. Where do you put them?
But Chris Jericho has been walking that line since day one.
This is some of the most interesting in terms of booking and characters. And it's going to be fun to see how it goes.
But it isn't, because this is what wrestling is now. Wrestling in the 80s, you're right. Wrestling was very simple. It was you were a heel or you were a face. That was it. That distinction is gone, and it's gone in WWE as well, because they're not booing the Bloodline.
No.
Roman Reigns was cheered like nobody's business, but he's officially a heel.
Wrestling fans are now respecting what people do in the ring. And if you win their respect, no matter if you're doing it as the good guy or the bad guy, they're cheering. And I think that it's the people that are booking wrestling now are going to have to understand that even though, I mean, people still want Roman Reigns to lose. They still want the Bloodline to get beat up down the road. But at the same time, people are doing this more out of respect than I want you to win or I want you to lose.
If Moxley had won yesterday, what would have been the result?
It depends how he'd have won. If he'd have done something...
If the referee hadn't been knocked out on the bump and MJF's tap out was seen, and that was the end of the match.
Oh, that would have killed MJF. That would have been disastrous. I think that if you were going to book... If you'd have decided to book Moxley as the winner, he would have had to have done something heelish to make it happen. Like, imagine if Regal passed...
You're missing what I'm saying.
Good.
What would the crowd reaction have been had Moxley won the match?
Oh, they'd booed him out of the building. That would have been a Cena wins, we riot kind of thing. Absolutely. Yeah. It would have been fun to see what would have happened if Regal would have passed the Nux to Mox instead of MJF, and the only way Mox could win was
to knock him out
like that.
That would have been a very interesting finish, too.
They're coming up with some ideas. I've got a few.
Well, I think we're not going to see Mox for a while now.
No,
he's going on vacation.
He's taking his time off.
And well deserved.
He and Renee need to hit the road, get down to the Bahamas, and have a good time.
Absolutely.
Because he saved AEW after that whole thing. Because by the way, if you didn't know that, when CM Punk got suspended and he'd won the World Championship at All Out, and the whole backstage fight happened, Moxley was supposed to be going on vacation. He had like a 6-week vacation planned or something like that.
Right, and
they called him up and said, Yeah, we'll see you in Poughkeepsie on Wednesday.
Pretty much. But like I said, wrestling nowadays is so different that you don't necessarily have to have heels and faces. The only difference is you cannot book MJF against somebody who is being cheered right now because they will then get booed.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. And Ricky Starks is the kind of guy who kind of rides that middle line too. So if Ricky ends up winning on Wednesday night, those two will have a little war words. And I think it'll be some fun matches too, at least to kick them off the reign of MJF. All right, so that's pretty much what happened at Full Gear. Dynamite's going to be fun on Wednesday. It should be a must-see show.
It'll be very interesting.
Yep. So other must-see shows, man, World Wrestling Entertainment. They will get their chance in the spotlight coming up this week as we get ready for Survivor Series.
Now they know where the bar is set.
War Games.
And I'm actually looking forward to the men's War Games match.
That's going to be a blast.
The women's one, I'm not so sure about.
I will express my disappointment in WWE booking in just a little bit here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDWN 101.5 FM 720 AM. I'm Mark Hoke along with Andrew Fish Fain.
That's me.
Doing our thing here on
Vandergrift
Sunday.
Killer.
See, I'm just not going to respond anymore. I'm
That's
done.
That's how I
I'm
want to
done
be
with it.
introduced from now on.
I'm done with it.
That's how I'm going to be introduced from now on.
All right.
Andrew Fish Fain, the Vandergrift Killer.
Good luck. Yeah. What do I have to pay you, Mark? What do I have to pay you? If I get you some food from Unique Eats every day? Yeah. All right. So as we head into Survivor Series coming up on Saturday.
One of the big four.
Of course, we have War Games matches.
And I think that Survivor Series has taken a turn for the worse. Its reputation has been tarnished as one of the big four. It is the last of the big four.
Because they stopped doing what they were doing.
Yes.
Survivor Series was a bunch of 5-on-5 matches, and they totally got away from it. And they did the Raw versus SmackDown, which is now totally worthless. So now we get War Games matches. If you don't know what a War Games match is, they bring down two rings surrounded by a steel cage.
Hell in a Cell style steel cage.
And you start off with two people, then every couple minutes, one person from each team, one person from one team comes in, then one person from the other team comes in. You keep alternating till everybody's in the ring, and then the match officially starts, and then whoever
And so
wins.
the one team will always have an advantage: 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3, 5-on-4.
Well, in alternating fashion, because it goes it's 1-on-1, then 2-on-1, then 2-on-2, then 3-on-2, and so on.
Right, but the one team will always have a one-person advantage until it's 5-on-5.
Right. Correct. So we did have some interesting stuff on Raw besides determining who that new person is that's with taking on the dreaded Bloodline. And
that was on SmackDown.
That was on SmackDown. But on Raw,
we found out who's on the women's side.
Yes, we did. But I want to mention a guy we were talking about last week, Austin Theory. As Austin Theory came out and is no longer Mr. Selfie Guy.
And he is
snapped.
His character now is much better.
Yes.
What they have done with Theory, and they were right, because the writers were saying, now that, people are saying, he's lost his push, and the writers go, no, now that he's lost the briefcase, we can do so much more with him. And that's exactly what they did.
Of course, Austin Theory was getting pushed by Vince McMahon before he was duly dismissed, resigned, whatever, from WWE.
Given the boot.
And had won the Money in the Bank case here in Las Vegas, which, of course, would entitle him to a world championship shot, which didn't make any sense.
No, and then he took a shot during an open challenge.
And wrestled for the U.S. title, which he lost. And now he comes out, but he is now turning into Austin Theory, little crazy maniac.
I mean, he just destroyed Dolph Ziggler.
Yes. So it's now Austin Theory badass.
And it really is.
And good for him. I'm glad that they figured out something of a reasonable solution.
That's a real heel.
Because this could have absolutely ruined him, and he's too talented for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's just not ready to be a champion.
Not yet. Not a world champion.
Right.
So we'll see where that all goes, but good for him. Good for Austin Theory.
And good for WWE in the way they booked it.
Yeah. On the other side of it, I'm a little disappointed in this, Fish. I got to say I'm a little disappointed.
In what?
Now, first, the Women's Survivor Series, the lineup is still not finalized yet.
It's 5-on-4 right now.
At the moment, it is 5-on-4. That is correct. As Mia Yim has joined in the fun. She is back, and she will be teaming with Bianca Belair Alexa Bliss, Asuka, and TBD.
I love
Still
TBD.
don't know yet. Taking on Damage Control. That's Bayley, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, and I'm mad about this one. I'm sorry.
I'm not. It makes sense. It makes sense
because they ruined the match that I wanted.
Well, the match that you wanted wasn't going to happen.
I'm sorry. Rhea Ripley is on this women's team.
And it makes sense because Mia Yim attacked Rhea Ripley. So therefore, that's why Rhea Ripley wants her revenge on Mia Yim.
That's great. It just happened out of the blue. I wanted Judgment Day in a War Games match with Rhea in there.
You couldn't have that. They weren't going to have 3 War Games matches. It was only going to be 2 War Games matches, a women's and a men's.
I'm just saying. That's what I wanted.
I know that's what you want.
It would have been more fun with Rhea and Beth
stop the
in
presses.
there.
You didn't give Mark Hoke what he wanted.
That's right. So you're wrong. You're wrong.
That's ridiculous.
You're wrong.
That's just ridiculous.
But we will see Rhea Ripley in a Survivor Series match. But I'm curious to...
She hasn't wrestled since June. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, she's been...
Yeah, she's wrestling Monday. She's wrestling on Raw on Monday night.
Well, if you remember, she had a concussion issue.
Yeah.
But she's been, of course, hanging around with Judgment Day, and she's in the stable and been being sneaky and bad and slamming Luke Gallows.
I was like slamming Luke Gallows.
The large Luke Gallows. Oh,
but so she wrestles Monday night, and it's a huge match because it's for the advantage at War Games.
Right. I'm curious to... Would they bring Charlotte back in this spot as the 5th person?
Or will they bring Becky as the 5th person? Or do they bring Sasha Banks as the 5th person?
I think they're gonna bring Sasha and Naomi back together.
Right, and the other person it could be, and it wouldn't be a huge surprise, would be Candice LeRae.
That would be interesting. I think she was having some injury issues.
And the other name that's been bantied about, and it would make sense, but considering what happened the last time she was in a War Games match, is Tegan Nox. Because if you remember, Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai were on the same team, and Dakota Kai, that's when Dakota Kai turned heel and went all crazy on Tegan Nox when she was still in the cage waiting to come out.
That's a good point. That wouldn't be a bad selection. Charlotte kind of makes sense. That would get a huge pop.
And that would start a Charlotte Bayley program.
Yes. I'm down with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that means Charlotte's coming back as a face.
Yeah.
And I will say this about Charlotte. She can play both sides. She can play a face great or a heel great.
She's better as a heel, but...
Absolutely. Most people are. Yeah. It's easier to be a heel.
It is. Because you can say whatever you want to say.
Exactly.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
Being good is bad.
Yes.
Bad is good.
Yes.
Welcome to the world of professional wrestling, everybody.
Absolutely. Well, MJF is proof of that.
Yeah. But so we're nearly wrapped up on that Survivor Series match. And then we have AJ Styles is going to be wrestling Finn Balor.
Which I love. I love the fact that those two are going at it.
It's going to be a fun match. Ronda Rousey will be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Shotzi.
And now both of them have someone in their corner.
And I love that Shayna Baszler is with Ronda. Shayna should get a push to the moon. I would love to see Ronda wrestle Shayna. I think that'd be terrific.
I think that's bound to happen at some point.
2 MMA people going at it would be
I think it would be ridiculous at this point to have Shayna cost Rousey this match and then turn on each other. It's too soon. But that's what has to happen at some point. Shayna has to accidentally cost Ronda the title, and that's going to cause Ronda to get pissed, and that's going to cause the program between the two of them.
Well, if Ronda does something bad to Shayna, she could always make a phone call, by the way. Because just, when you're doing bad things to your friends and, you might need an attorney. If you need an attorney, you give our good friend Dutch Boyd a call. And he's going to be there to help you out at Vegas Council. Head on over to vegascouncil.com, and the former 18-year-old law school graduate from the University of Missouri will help you out. He's a terrific attorney and a personal friend of mine. I can vouch for him. He is the man, gives great advice. Business law, intellectual property, personal injury, crypto law, which, with the FTX thing going on, you might need somebody with into crypto law. So go over to vegascouncil.com, get in touch with Dutch, and he will give you a free consultation. So what do you have to lose? Vegascouncil.com is the place to go. That is vegascouncil.com, and say hi to our good friend Russell Dutch Boyd, 3-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner. He's the man. All right. So when we get back, we have the final member of the Survivor Series match coming up. And for the men, that's going to be interesting. If you don't know who it is, you can stick around and find out. And by the way, give us a follow on social media at Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and of course, go to markhokeshow.com. Stick around for more here on The Mark Hoke Show on KDWN. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Hunt Bono. Listen to the longest-running musical variety broadcast in Las Vegas history, The Dennis Bono Show. Entertainers perform on stage, then playfully interact with Dennis. Every Sunday, 6 p.m., right here on KDWN.
Hi, this is Mark Hoke. Has out-of-control inflation, gas prices, and grocery costs wrecked your wallet? Then check into automated day trading with Trading Made Easy. Trading Made Easy has spent 5 years helping people put cash in their pockets with their simple-to-use day trading software. So if you're ready to leave that 9-to-5 job behind, visit TradingMadEasy.com or call 800-971-4160 to sign up for a free live training seminar right now. That's TradingMadEasy.com. Tired of the same boring food when you're out for breakfast or lunch? I'm Mark Hoke, and I have an idea for a different place to go with unique food you're sure to enjoy, and that's Unique Eats. Take some time out of your busy day and stop on in to Unique Eats, featuring celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco and his friendly staff. Whether it's a great start to your day with one of Unique Eats' amazing omelets, or lunch with his incredible sandwiches, pasta, and award-winning pizzas, you'll be in for a fantastic dining experience that won't break the bank. Unique Eats also features a smoothie bar and full vegetarian menu as well. Plus, if you need catering, you can count on Unique Eats no matter what the occasion. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Unique Eats at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100, open daily until 3 p.m. Call them at 702-992-3038 or visit UniqueEatsLV.com for their full menu and catering info. Break out of the same old routine and have a great meal at Unique Eats today.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Yeah, that's me. Hi. What's going on? Andrew Fish Fain sitting across from me.
Vandergrift Killer.
And we will continue on in the world of pro wrestling. We are the #1 professional wrestling show on the planet.
In the multiverse.
We're wrestling gods, sort of. Fish thinks he's a wrestling god.
Oh, I am a wrestling god.
Have you ever run a rope? Just out of curiosity. I can see the answer is no from the silly little grin on your face, so just you're dead.
Pish tosh.
But I can't wait to see Vandergrift tonight. He's going to be defending his No Limits title.
I wish I was off tonight so I could show up down there.
Yeah, okay. But
I'd be the new Low Limits champion, baby.
Get on down to the Silver Nugget tonight,
Just
5
hooking
o'clock.
that fish hook, he's tapping.
But you're gonna see some great wrestling tonight.
Always do for Joe's shows.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
FSW is amazing.
Yep, probably the best. One of the best indie promotions in the country. No
Absolutely.
doubt. So get on over to FSW.
Hell, they're better than Impact.
Yeah, and by the way, Fish needs some money, and if he wants to get some money, maybe he should try to go to trading, get involved with Trading Made Easy. Automated day trading software. You can check that out. Free webinars going on all week long. You go to tradingmadeasy.com to take a look and sign up. And, of course, you can also give them a call at 800-971-4160, 800-971-4160, tradingmadeasy.com. It's so simple. They only need one E, tradingmadeasy.com.
I was waiting for the line.
And hop in there and, maybe.
I was waiting for the line about it's so simple you don't even need the other E.
Yeah, just, give up that 9-to-5 job, just make some extra money. Check it out.
These segues.
All right. Now, we have our final member in the men's Survivor Series match.
And the way he was introduced was very cool because they were going to introduce him allegedly early in the show.
But they did not.
They were interrupted.
Yes. Interruptions are always fun in professional
they are.
wrestling. But we now have that lineup set as the Bloodline.
And were you okay with the explanation of why Drew McIntyre and Sheamus could coexist on a team?
Yeah, they're pals.
Well, no, but they said because they'd been fighting so hard and so long, they have such respect for each other. And Sheamus even said, I respect him so much, I made him my best man.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good explanation. It was a good way of working it out. Because we had talked
solid.
about it last week, because Joe had said, weren't they just beating each other up?
Well, here's the thing. I'm part Irish and Scottish. Okay? And you know what we do in Ireland and Scotland?
Fight.
We drink, we fight, and then we sing. We put our arms around each other and throw our shillelaghs all over the place and do what we do. So it's okay.
That's been your problem. You've been throwing your shillelagh all over the place.
Unfortunately, I haven't been throwing my shillelagh around too much lately. But that's another show. But we do have the final member of the Survivor Series match. So it's going to be the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Sami Zayn, and the Usos.
Sami Uso and the Usos.
Whatever you say.
He's feeling Usi.
He is feeling Uso.
And that's a problem, because they're chanting that way too much now.
That worked out nicely. But it's kind of, I mean,
they've become almost faces because of it.
But that's another thing. That's another of the situations we're talking about with AEW. The Bloodline has the same thing going. Sammy has been so good in what he's been doing, plus the dominance and the great performances by the guys in the Bloodline.
But it's really
they're getting cheered on too.
But it's really only Sammy and Roman who are getting cheered. The Usos and Solo are getting the hazing that a heel would get. But Roman Reigns is getting cheered. I mean, when he came out on Friday night, the place erupted.
Right. That's tremendous respect for Roman Reigns.
And this is the best work of Sammy's career. There is no question. I
I
don't think the WWE expected it to be this good.
I miss El Generico, though. Put the mask back on him. Just for one night, please. Please. It's fun.
No, you can't do it right now.
No.
And then he did refer to himself as, do you forget who I am? I'm Sami Zayn. I'm the master strategist.
Well, he's going to have his best buddy beating him up, at least for a while, in this War Games match. Because it's going to be the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch, with Drew McIntyre, and Fight Owens Fight, baby. Kevin Owens is going to be turned loose in War Games.
And all props to WWE for Kevin Owens' entrance on Friday night.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
And the way usually when a guy comes out and clears the ring, it's a little ridiculous. He did it correctly.
Yes. Kevin Owens usually does most things correctly in the ring.
And yeah, but Sami Zayn took a hit for Roman Reigns, as he should do. And, Roman was going to spear him, and he stopped the spear, and then he gave him the stunner.
Yep. So Kevin Owens will be in this. Of course, Owens and Sami Zayn have been traveling together for years and years. Indies, Ring of Honor, and of course they've feuded as well in Ring of Honor, NXT, and
in WWE they were friends, they were enemies, they were frenemies.
And now they will be locked inside the evil structure that is War Games.
Is this where Sammy turns on the Bloodline?
Yes.
You think at War Games?
Yes.
You think it's purposeful or it happens by accident?
Purposeful.
He's going to turn on the Bloodline.
Bad things will happen to the Bloodline because of Sami Zayn. Of course, the interesting part about this storyline was when WWE put this together and was getting Sammy into this, they were only planning to do this for a few weeks and then do the turn.
If that, yeah.
But it turned out to be so good and everybody was into it. They've dragged this out for months. And actually, I think it kept Kevin Owens off TV too.
Oh, it absolutely
because
did.
They were going to put Kevin and Sammy together, but KO got a break.
So is that who's ending the Usos' reign? Sammy and Kevin?
Probably.
And so when you have Sammy turn on the Bloodline, though, shouldn't he do it in a way that it costs the Usos something? Not what it costs Roman, that it costs the Usos.
Well,
because if Sammy turns, then Jay can look at Roman and go, "I told you so."
Well, but here's where you have the seeds of dissent. So Jay has been saying, "No, we don't want him around. He's bad. He's evil."
Jimmy goes, "I like him,"
and Jimmy's like, "Yeah, whatever. It's all good." Solo's like, "Yeah, okay."
Solo doesn't say anything.
And Roman's just going along with it. Hey, he's all right.
He's laughing when he goes, he's feeling oozy.
If you remember, will we finally get a payoff from when Jay and Roman were feuding a couple of years ago? You remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that. That was when Jimmy was out, and when he was he became main event Jey Uso. And
of course, then they reunited the family, and that's where the Bloodline started. This could be some good long-term storytelling.
Because they have I can't even remember his name. Yeah, the continuity guy. They brought in.
Blanking, I forgot.
Rob
Fee.
Rob Fee. Now, he may bring that back purposefully. Like, the bloodline breaks up. It's really breaking up.
Yeah. This could be a seminal moment in WWE for the last year here at Survivor Series.
Well, I mean, Roman Reigns held the belt for over 800 days. So this could this could be huge.
Yes. And I still want to see KO get another shot at him. Because if you remember when they feuded the last time, they had 3 different matches, including the one where Kevin Owens should have been crowned the Universal Champion because of the technical glitch that happened. They were doing a last man standing match, and Kevin had handcuffed Roman so that he couldn't stand up, but Paul Heyman couldn't open the cuffs in time. The referee was counting to 10, and then at 8 just magically stopped.
Yes.
So KO should have been the Universal Champion on a technicality on that.
But on those 3 matches, you have to think back, but those 3 matches were great matches. I mean, the Jey Uso Roman Reigns matches were amazing. Because you remember, Jey was going to beat him in the steel cage until Jimmy came out, and because Roman started beating up Jimmy, Jey gave up.
Yeah. There is some serious fun to be had here, kids.
Oh, absolutely. But Drew McIntyre can also claim that he deserves another shot.
Right. Of course, beating Karrion Kross and
and what happened at Clash at the Castle with Solo Sikoa.
There are some loose ends to be tied, and usually Survivor Series, even though it's one of the big 4s, to me it'd become kind of a throwaway. I don't know if it's a throwaway this time around.
And this is the last PLE of the year. There isn't one scheduled for December.
No, they're done, and day 1 is not coming back.
So we don't know what's going to be in the beginning of January. This could be the last.
Well, we could be heading into the Royal Rumble.
Right, which is the road to WrestleMania. So you have to get your storyline set.
Yes. And I think this is going to be set.
So interesting thought. Is this where The Rock makes his appearance?
I think you're pushing it.
I think
The Rock would show up at Royal Rumble. I don't think he'd show up at Survivor Series.
Okay.
But yeah,
because The Rock would have to win Royal Rumble to get a shot at Roman Reigns, wouldn't he?
No. If he walks in the door, he's getting a shot.
Yeah, but if he shows up in the Royal Rumble match.
See, I don't know if they need to necessarily put him in the Royal Rumble match.
You have to because the winner gets a shot, a championship match. There's only one champion.
If The Rock walks in the door and says, I am taking over head of the table, put it on the line, that's what they do. And you can do that very easily.
Then you have to split the belts because then there's no point in having the Royal Rumble.
And now we get into that split belt fight.
Yeah,
again.
because there's no point in having the Royal Rumble.
Do you know what I think they should do at WrestleMania this year? They should make Roman defend each of those belts separately on both nights.
That almost have to, and that's the only way you can have The Rock come in and say I get a match with him, and you have someone else win the Royal Rumble. Otherwise, there's no point in having the Royal Rumble because if the winner doesn't get a title match at WrestleMania, what's the point?
Unless you make it a triple threat.
That ruins the entire thing.
Yeah, but you could do a double. You could do a 2-fall triple threat match.
No,
you could.
You could do a number of things, but it would be ridiculous, and it would be ridiculous.
Well, WWE did something ridiculous, so they may have to do something ridiculous to bring it back around. No, but I like the idea of Roman wrestling twice.
I do too, but they're gonna have The Rock in the Royal Rumble because the problem is if you have him wrestling twice, then The Rock has to be on the second day because Roman won't lose twice.
See, I don't think you have to have him win the Rumble. I mean, Cody Rhodes is still the plan if he's back. So I don't think you
have to split the belts before WrestleMania.
No, you don't.
You do.
Rock challenges one night. Whoever wins the Rumble challenges on the other. There. Done. See? I got it.
No, because then Roman has an excuse for losing either of them.
Well, he can win one and lose the other. Roman beats The Rock. That would be great.
No, Rock beats Roman. You're not going to bring Rock back to lose.
I think Rock beats Scissors.
It certainly does. I mean, the argument.
Find your inner Uzi again.
As Roman just said, you got to find your inner Uzi.
Yes, there you go. I'm feeling very Uzi today.
You are.
I'm gonna.
That was my favorite line from him. Uzi. He said he was Uzi in the sky with diamonds.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas. I don't even know what to say, but this should be a fun Survivor Series.
I hate the fact there's only 4 matches.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to. We still got a couple of days. We can stick a couple more on.
So they're going to add one more on Raw, one more on SmackDown.
Yeah,
You think so? 6 matches?
Probably. But I guess we should predict those 4 matches, and then we have a couple of little stories we can sneak in here at the end. Let's start with the AJ Styles, Finn Balor, who are going to have the planet in each of their corners. It'll be the
Basically
OC,
a Survivor Series team in their
That's
corners.
why I just it was a natural match. Why did you could have even just made a traditional Survivor
Series match?
You still could.
Yeah, except for no Rhea Ripley,
which is disappointing. But AJ Styles with the OC, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and maybe Mia Yim hanging around too, taking on Finn Balor with Judgment Day. That is Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, and
is
Rhea
Survivor
Ripley.
Series opening with a War Games match and closing with a War Games match? Is that what you're doing? Opening with the women's, closing with the men's?
I don't know.
And then the other matches in between?
That's a production issue, I think. I guess you could. You would have time, I suppose, but then you got to lower the cage twice and all that. But I'm sure they've got it covered.
AJ Styles wins. They've lost too many times, and if Rhea Ripley is not going to be able to be involved either because of Mia Yim or because she's wrestling in the War Games match, Finn Balor loses.
I don't know. Finn's been getting a pretty big push. I might go Finn Balor's way on this.
I'm going AJ Styles.
All right.
You can't have AJ continually lose.
Well, in WWE?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thank
I'm
you.
still going AJ Styles.
All right. Ronda Rousey taking on Shotzi, who won a 6-pack challenge to get this opportunity to get crushed by Ronda.
Yeah,
I'll just say that.
Shotzi is not going to be your next SmackDown Women's Champion.
No. But I will say a good spotlight for Shotzi.
Absolutely.
You know, nice for her to get an opportunity to
Yeah, because she was
wrestle
being
for this
buried prior to this. So
I just hope that they're eventually leading to Ronda and Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania.
which will be a hell of a match.
Shayna, and I would love to see Shayna get her momentum back, because if you remember when she first came up to the main roster, she was killing everybody, and when they had an Elimination Chamber match, she walked in and destroyed 5 other women in a matter of minutes.
Becky Lynch and had blood dripping from her mouth.
Right, and of course that was the point where Shayna should have been the champion, and then all of a sudden Vince
Said, no, we're going to keep it on Becky.
Said, nah, I don't like her. No.
See, but I almost think that you should have Baszler and Rousey battle, and you don't have to have it for the belt. It can just be Baszler versus Rousey. That sells it in and of itself.
Yeah, but Triple H is a big Shayna Baszler fan, and I think he's going to want to get her pushed again.
Yeah,
like
I just don't want to. I just don't want to see like Becky Lynch or Charlotte or whoever come back and go, "Oh yeah, we're now in that title picture," and have it become a triple threat. It has to be 1-on-1 Baszler versus Rousey.
Yeah, so I think Triple H will do it, but I think we both agree that Ronda Rousey will be having no issues
with Shotzi
in this one. We'll do the women's. Of course, we still have a wild card in this one. Bianca Belair, Alexa, Asuka.
Who's your honest bet for the wild card?
I'll take Charlotte.
If you're taking Charlotte, I will take. I'll go ahead and say I'll take Tegan Nox.
Okay. Takes on Damage Control, Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley. Who wins this? This is somewhat intriguing because Damage Control has been going up and down. Do you really want to?
And they're still the women's tag champs.
Do you want to give them a loss in this match?
I will say.
I don't think so.
I'll say this because I think the Bloodline are losing. Damage Control is winning.
Okay, that's fair.
Because the perceived faces are going to beat the perceived heels, so the perceived heels have to win in one of those 2 matches.
Well, they don't have to.
You're not going to have the faces win both War Games matches.
Well, I see what you're saying. I think it's going to depend. It'll depend on who TBD is. But okay, I'll go with you, Fish, but reluctantly.
But I'm not.
Reluctantly.
All I will say is only one person has to take the fall, correct? Or
Right.
tap out or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
So I will tell you, whoever's returning is not going to be taking the fall. Whoever the TBD is not going to take the fall. And Bianca is not going to take the fall.
Unless you're setting up something like Bayley Charlotte or...
Yeah, but my guess is
I'm-
either
I'm-
Asuka or Alexa Bliss is taking the fall.
Yeah.
Unless Alexa gets...
On that side, but
unless Alexa gets, mesmerized by Bray Wyatt somewhere.
yeah, you never know.
And that's, by the way, that's going to be another match at Survivor Series, Bray Wyatt, LA Knight.
That would be fun to see.
It's going to be there.
I hope so. So are both taking the
It's funny,
babyface side.
I will say it's funny you say that you hope that match is there, because weren't last week both of us saying, how is Bray Wyatt's first match going to be against LA Knight? How is that good for anybody? And yet,
it's not.
But what they did this week makes it a little bit better.
It definitely helped. It definitely helped. And then, of course, we're already talking about the Bloodline taking on the Brutes and Drew and Kevin.
Brutes and Drew and Kevin win.
Yeah, there is the poor people in the back. The trainers are going to be removing all of the knives out of the backs of most of the Bloodline after this
most
match
out of
is
Roman
over.
Reigns, I would imagine.
I think.
Does Roman actually take the fall, though?
Oh, God, no. No.
How perfect would that be? He gets set up by his other guys to take the fall.
I think this is an interesting pick. Who takes the fall on this match? I don't think it's Roman.
If it's not Roman, then it has to be Jimmy
I say
Uso.
Jay. No, I say it's Jay. Jay takes the fall
because of Sami.
Because of Sami.
Sami hits him with a hula kick when he was going for Kevin Owens or something.
And Jimmy's gonna be like, I told you. I'm main event Jimmy.
No, Jay would be saying, not Jimmy.
Sorry, but I'm main event guy. No, I'm right. Yeah, that's what I think.
I think you're right. I think Jay takes it. I think it's because Sami goes for a haluva kick, misses Kevin Owens, hits Jey Uso, whether it's purposeful.
No, I think they're just going to beat
whether it's purposeful or not.
Yeah,
or I think Jay starts beating up on Sami in the War Games, and that makes Sami turn.
Yeah. No, I think they're just going to turn at some point. That's been the plan all along.
Is to turn Sami. But there has to be a reason for Sami to turn. He's not just going to all of a sudden go, ha-ha, I was fooling you the whole time.
Yeah, he will. That's it. That was the whole plan. He and KO were planning it all along.
It was KO and his plan the whole time?
That's both of them, yeah. Well, I mean, come on. Why else would you do that? Why else would you...
Because I think Sami... Because now they've made it so Sami looks like he's having too much... He's really too entrenched in the bloodline and he likes it. So you could have it so that it's not the whole plan the whole time. I think originally that was the plan.
I think you're outthinking the room on this one. I think it was just Kevin and Sami we're taking over. That's it. So we're going to sneak in. That's how it worked. So there you go. Survivor Series coming up. And, of course, that is on Saturday night. And you'll be able to watch that on Peacock. If you don't have Peacock, sorry. But the nice thing is if you have Cox, you get Peacock for free. So tune in.
Peacocks.
It's going to be a fun one on Saturday night from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. So there you go, Survivor Series.
It's really sad that the next PLE after that is the Royal Rumble. There should be at least one, if not two, in between.
Well, day one was a dumb idea.
No, I don't argue that, but they should have something in December.
Day one was the pay-per-view they were going to use as the bridge. And they were planning on making it a big 5 instead of the big 4.
Yeah,
but on New Year's Day, dumb idea.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
No, absolutely. I'm not arguing that fact. It's just they had to know there was too much going on.
Plus, people get COVID, apparently, when it's day one. And it's funny that both companies had to get through some crazy stuff that happened that screwed up their storylines. That one was completely out of the blue with Roman getting COVID right before day one happening last year. And it put a lot of people on different trajectories, including the belt unification and the whole 9 yards. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
What a mess.
How different would WWE be now if Roman hadn't gotten COVID then?
It would be a lot different, I think.
I don't know if the Bloodline would even be there.
I think they'd be there, but I don't think...
in the current iteration.
But I don't think Roman would have both belts, and I think Bobby Lashley would probably still be the champ.
Yeah.
I think that screwed Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, it really did.
Thanks, COVID.
Now, is the Hurt Business getting back together?
No. I been there, done that.
I agree, but they've made, now they have Omos in the Hurt Business.
No, I don't think so.
Lashley was a face for like 2 minutes, which made no sense to me.
Do something new.
I
would like to see Omos and Braun Strowman be a tag team. That would be entertaining.
That would be good.
It could be.
The other hot rumor is that John Cena is coming back.
Yes, we did hear about that John Cena is coming back. And I forgot who.
One rumor is it's going to be John Cena and Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
That's ridiculous.
Which would be a hell of a match.
That's ridiculous.
But yes. I just said that was a rumor. The other rumor is that it was the one that was supposed to be all along, which is John Cena, Austin Theory.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who Cena gets. But WrestleMania is a long way away, but that's in Los Angeles.
Because they've talked about this WrestleMania being the biggest one of all time, which is why they want The Rock and Cena both back.
Well, it's in L.A., too.
Yeah.
So
they're
kind of hanging out.
Yeah, and they're talking about Stone Cold coming back as well. He's been working out. He recently came out and said, look, I've been working out because I looked myself in the mirror and thought I looked disgusting. So I called up my dietitian, and he's put me on a program.
Hey, maybe he could do a mixed tag with Saraya.
But they want...
The pencil necks.
Yeah, but Stone Cold... But they're saying they want Stone Cold to come back for another match.
Yeah, well...
Because he looked so good at last WrestleMania.
He didn't look that good. They did a brawl all around. It wasn't that good.
And, you know...
It was fun, but it wasn't that good.
We're talking about the audience choosing to turn MJF face. That's what they've done with Seth Rollins. Because I don't think they had the idea to have Seth Rollins as a face. But the audience started loving him too much.
Well, we wrestling fans have definitely changed over the years. That's for sure.
I mean, we booed Seth Rollins
a couple weeks ago.
Not only that, but people started booing Seth Rollins, and it wasn't his fault after the stupid Hell in the Cell match with The Fiend.
Right.
And that's when he became a heel again. And he's been a heel all this time because of that match.
Yeah, thanks for reminding everybody about that.
And now it's turned around all of a sudden very organically, which I think is very cool.
Yeah. And by the way, real quick, I want to mention Matt Cardona could be coming back with Chelsea Green, of course, the former Zack Ryder.
Maybe Chelsea Green's the fifth member.
Oh, dear Lord. That would light the place up. That would light it up.
Yeah, Chelsea Green wasn't that big. Cardona was. Chelsea Green, not so much.
Yeah, but she's established herself outside WWE now. It'll be fun.
And I guess people know what it means.
Hey, we got to wrap it up. Andrew Fain, I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us today. We do appreciate you tuning in with us on the Mark Hoke Show. Hey, don't forget podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com. All your favorite podcast outlets. Once again, thank you for all those downloads. We really do appreciate it. Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show. Twitter, Mark Hoke Show. And we will see you guys next week here on KDWN, 101.5 FM, 720 AM, the talk of Las Vegas, for more pro wrestling news, and we'll get you on Survivor Series. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow next Sunday. Have a great night.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.